Hello, it's me, Alex, coming to you on YouTube. That's my God. I can't. Why can't I just ever do a normal introduction? Anyway, I come to you today with an update vlog of sorts to let you know about a big change that's going to be happening, which does actually affect the channel and everything really. I'm going to go into a bit of a backstory around the situation because I know a lot of you will have seen me over the past 2.5 years keep going back and forth between the UK and Canada. The reason for that is that I used to live in Canada. I had a 2-year work permit that expired, so I went back to the UK and began my self-employment, doing YouTube and stuff full time in about October 2017. So like 3 years ago. So since then, I've just been going to and from Canada, trying to figure out if I want to live in Canada permanently and how I should do that, whether it be studying or just trying to get employed by another company or trying to apply for permanent residency, which wasn't really very feasible until towards the end of 2019, when I decided to set up a limited company in Canada and then sponsor myself to work for that company. That company has now all been kind of set up. All it does really is just incorporate my revenue streams. All my self-employment revenue streams have kind of been signed over to that limited company now, and that's it. That's how that is the company. It's just a small media company that I've set up to enable me to hire myself. It's a bit of a weird way of emigrating to Canada, because you need to prove that the company is viable, really, and that you're gonna do your best to hire Canadian staff once it's all set up. So what you have to do, it's essentially an owner-operator labour market impact assessment that you have to go down. So a labour market impact assessment is something that any Canadian company has to do if they want to employ a foreign national, usually. So my company had to do that. Because it's an owner-operator, I own 100% of the company, so I was applying for permission to hire myself to work for that company. That was meant to take 2 weeks to do, but because of the pandemic that we're all in, it ended up taking months to have an interview with someone from like the Canadian kind of government side of things. So then that was approved. After, like, you have to do like a huge business plan and have everything set up, have your revenue streams already going in the company to prove it's already viable. So I did all that through immigration lawyers. It's been quite the money suck, the same as like a time and stress and oh god. It's been a long process. So then you apply for the work permit, and the work permit was meant to take 14 weeks to be processed, and it was only submitted. I only managed to do my biometrics, where I had to go to London and provide like my a picture and fingerprints and stuff. Towards the end of was it the end of November? Towards the end of November. So I wasn't meant to get my work permit for another 14 weeks, as that's the guideline that they gave on the website. But for some reason, it only took 1 week to be approved. So I am now allowed to travel to Canada and officially work for my company. That's the big news. I'm going to be moving back to Canada, potentially permanently, which is great. So I think essentially I've been approved for a 2-year work permit, and then you have to kind of review it with your company after that. But yeah, essentially I get to be in the place where I found that I've been very happy, and I get to try and start to build a life there again, which is a weight off my mind and a weight off my family's minds, and my girlfriend's mind too. I'm sure. It's been like a year-long process to get to this point. So how is that going to affect the channel? Well, I'm taking it easy for the next few weeks because I just don't want to put too much on myself, which is a bit silly because December is the best paying month for YouTube ad revenue of the year, but I just can't. I should be releasing content daily, but realistically, it might just be 1 or 2 videos a week. I'm just a bit spent, really. I'm sure we all are. It's been a difficult year for everyone in the world. My situation isn't any worse than anyone else's, really, but I'm just talking to you how it's kind of affected my mind. It's been a very challenging year for my mental health, and as a lot of you know, I have my own struggles with that anyway, which I'm it's like a constant thing that I'm working on. But yeah, I deal with a lot of anxiety, melancholy, like, bits of depression. Never really thought that I had too much OCD, but it turns out that I'm struggling with elements of that too. It's like this big kind of like ball of stuff constantly hitting my brain, and it's this whole process has been made far more difficult because of the pandemic. But hopefully I can get to Canada. Well, I'm going to Canada next week. Then my work permit will be issued at the airport. Fingers crossed that they don't turn me away for some reason. Please don't. Please don't. And then I'll be able to work for that company full time, essentially. So, thank you. None of this. I was thinking to myself, I'm very lucky to be in this position. But to be honest, it's not just luck. I've worked hard the past decade on working on YouTube just as a hobby for many years, and then doing it full time. So it's not just luck. I've managed to develop, I think, pretty good skills over the past decade or so, and have really all I want to do is to entertain. I just want to see if I can hopefully put out more happiness than I do sadness in the world. So thank you all for making this possible, because if you weren't watching, none of this would be coming to fruition. Yeah, thanks. I don't know what else to say. I'm not going to waffle on too much, but hopefully soon you'll see me in Canada for quite some time. All right, good. I'm going to go and spend a bit of time with my family the next few days before I head off to Canada. Yeah, I think that's it. Take care, everyone, and I'll update you soon. Toodaloo.